Well, it's been a while since I've been able to say this, but it feels good to bust out the brooms once again. Yes, it's true. We swept in our picks yesterday, going 3-0. You knew I wasn't going to stay down forever, guys. You knew eventually things would turn around for us and that we would be back in the green. And yesterday happened to be that day. So congratulations if you tailed Donovan Mitchell over assists, or Jared Allen over rebounds, assists, or James Harden over rebounds and assists. All three of them hit, and they all hit by quite a bit. Even if you took the bumps, because they all three ended up getting bumped up. If you took the bumps, they still hit, even past the bumps. So congratulations if you took any of those picks. And to celebrate, guys, I want to run a special promotion for you guys, a special offer to celebrate the sweep. If you've been thinking about joining Dub Club, if I made you a few bucks yesterday and you want to be a part of a kick-ass community of like-minded individuals who are all just trying to help each other do one thing, and one thing only: win more together on Dub Club, well then here's your chance. I'm going to give you 3 months for the price of 2. All right, 3 months of Dub Club access for the price of 2. So for 40 bucks, you're going to get access to 90 days of Dub Club with me and the rest of the community. Hundreds of members in there sharing their favorite picks, plays, and props each and every day. I've left a link pinned to the comment section. Supplies are limited. There's only so many of these coupon codes available. Coupon code SWEEP. Take advantage. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. So we're back on PrizePicks today. We're going to try and find a couple of different picks. I got a couple of them that are lined up, and both of these guys happen to have the first name of Tyrese. I'm talking about Tyrese Maxey, and I'm talking about Tyrese Haliburton. Now, obviously, with both of these players, we know what they're capable of. We know what they can do, but we're going to dig in a little deeper and see if they make for a good over or under play. But I'm thinking that the overs are the way I want to go today on both of these picks. Starting with Tyrese Maxey here at 24.5 points. The last time they played Detroit, gang, it was just a couple days ago. Tyrese Maxey did not do so well. Let's be honest. He shot terribly. What did he finish with? 9 points or something like that? But that was in Detroit. Now things are shifting back to Philadelphia, and now that he's back in Philly, the brotherly love city, he's going to do a little bit better, I think, than 9 points today. Let's take a look at his game logs real quick. 12 games played this season. Now, these game logs are games that have DeAnthony Melton, Tobias Harris, Nicholas Batum, and Joel Embiid active. So with all 4 of those players suited up and taking the floor, these are the game logs that you have here. 12 game logs in total. He's gone over in 9 out of 12 games playing in games with those aforementioned players. Now he's averaging 27.4 points per game. His line today is 24.5 points per game. That right there is almost a 3-point difference. His point per game average versus what his line is today at 24.5. So you can already see where I'm kind of going with this. He's averaging almost 3 more points per game than where his line is set today. Here's where things get a little bit sweeter though. When we click on the home filter on props.cash, check this out. He's played in 7 games at home with the aforementioned group of players, and he's gone over 24.5 points in 5 out of 7 games. That's a 71% hit rate at home, which is pretty darn spiffy. But I want you to keep in mind the points per game average. 30.3 points per game playing at home with his fellow teammates. So that's a really impressive point per game average at over 30 per game. And again, his line is just 24.5. I mean, I really think he's going to bounce back. The NBA is one of those sports where players typically bounce back to where their averages are. And we know that Tyrese Maxey's averaging a lot more than 24.5 points per game overall, and especially a lot more points when he's playing at home. And you take a look at some of the games that the Detroit Pistons have played against point guards recently. If we scroll through some of these names here, 22 points allowed to Darius Garland, 42 points allowed to Jalen Brunson, 35 points allowed to D'Angelo Russell. I mean, 26 to Tyrese Haliburton, the other Tyrese that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But you see what I'm saying here. Detroit, not a very good team, which makes me a little bit hesitant because if we look at the game total of this particular game here, it's pretty high at 235.5, but what I'm most concerned with is the spread. It's a 16-point spread favoring the Philadelphia 76ers. So is there blowout risk or potential? Absolutely. We saw these two teams just face off the other night, and they absolutely did end up blowing out the Detroit Pistons, did the Philadelphia 76ers. So if you are concerned with the blowout, here's a way that you could possibly play Tyrese Maxey if you prefer. It's up to you, really. But to avoid the blowout risk, you could go Tyrese Maxey for first half only. It's something that's kind of cool about PrizePicks is you're able to play these players in a first half only format. So first half only for Tyrese Maxey at 12.5 points. I mean, you could take the over there if you think that this game gets out of hand and you're a little bit worried about the blowout potential, the blowout risk here. So a couple different ways to play Tyrese Maxey. But yes, it is a plus EV play. If we go and take a look at Maxey today, the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, you see me use this in each and every video. We're already seeing some strong odds on the sharpest sports book in the world, which is Pinnacle. Minus 141 betting favorite to go over at 24.5 points. All the other sports books at 24.5 points is a betting favorite to go over. I think you'll see this line start to pick up some steam throughout the day, and it could get up to 25.5 when it's all said and done. Bet Online already has them at 25.5 points, but yeah, you're getting about a 52.8% chance that Tyrese Maxey's going to go over. Speaking of other plus EV plays, you see them here on the board. These are all positive expected value plays. Take a screenshot. Maybe you want to jump on a few of them before the lines start moving on you on PrizePicks, all right? And then I want to get you a projection on Tyrese Maxey's points as well. So we go over to the points section. Type in Maxey's name, and you can see that he's projected for 25.9 points on a line of 24.5. Now, I will caution you that not all the projection models, at least early on, are loving Tyrese Maxey to go over his point total of 24.5. But we also know that those projections are just that, simply projections, and they're not a 100% guarantee that just because they're projecting well, that they're actually going to go over. So, you know, make what you will of this. 25.9 is the projection here on Fantasy Labs, which is a pretty strong projection. But I think Tyrese Maxey's due for a bounce back game, excuse me. So I think maybe more than 24.5 points is the way to go. Like I said, you could play first half only if you prefer that, if you think it's going to blow out. Tyrese Haliburton is the other Tyrese that we're talking about today. He's at 17.5 rebounds and assists, and he's taking on the Washington Wizards. Now, I want to show you the game total on this game because it really caught my eye here. This game is projected for 258.5 points, which is a whole lot of points. I mean, just scrolling through the rest of today's games, 258.5 is by far and away the highest total that you're going to see from any of the games on today's slate. Another high total, Hawks and Raptors at 243.5. But that doesn't even come close to sniffing 258.5. So we know this game has a really high total. Now, it opened at a 7.5 point spread, but it's since been bumped up to an 8.5 point spread. So they do expect the Indiana Pacers to maybe run away with this game at some point. A pretty lopsided victory there. But anyway, back to Tyrese Haliburton here. We're looking at his rebounds and assists at 17.5. And I know that seems like a really big number. But Tyrese Haliburton on the road especially is putting up really big numbers. Now, first, I want to just show you guys that this is a plus EV play. When we type in his name here, you're going to see two different options here for Tyrese Haliburton. You're already seeing his rebounds being bumped up from 4.5, almost a 54% chance for him to exceed 4.5 rebounds. So 5 or more boards is what is expected. I think you're going to see the rebounds and assists follow suit right behind it. Like I said, FanDuel's already got him at 18.5 points. You're going to probably see some of these other sports books start to jack him up to 18.5 points in rebounds and assists, I should say. Rebounds and assists. So don't be surprised if both of these get bumped, the rebounds or the rebounds and assists. But there's a couple different ways that you can play Tyrese Maxey. So if we head on over here to the game logs on props.cash for Tyrese Maxey, at 17.5 rebounds and assists over the last 4 games, he's actually gone over it in 3 out of 4 games. He only had 12 rebounds and assists in his last one, so kind of a down game for him. But here's the difference that I was talking about. When he's playing at home, his hit rates are pretty poor. 14.7 rebounds and assists per game, average 4 for 12 covering this prop. But when he's on the road, watch what happens. He goes from 14.7 rebounds and assists all the way up to 18.6 rebounds and assists this season. This is when he's playing away from Indiana. So that's a 75% hit rate, covering in 6 out of 8 games, and a very impressive average of 18.6 rebounds and assists. I mean, he's got 21, 22 rebounds plus assists upside when he plays on the road here. And then he's going up against a Washington Wizards team that ranks first in points allowed, or last in, defensive, rating when it comes to points allowed. No other team, in other words, is giving up more points per game than the Washington Wizards. So there's going to be plenty of assists being dished out by Haliburton. They also rank first in rebounds allowed, or dead last, I guess you could say, against opposing teams in rebounds. Ranking 30th there at almost 50 rebounds allowed per game. And yes, for the sweep here, 30th in assists allowed. So no other team in the NBA is giving up more assists per game to opposing point guards or opposing teams than the Washington Wizards. So they rank dead last in all 3 categories: points, rebounds, and assists. So the total being what it is, his line being at 17.5 rebounds and assists, I think it really does deserve to be bumped up to 18.5. But I think Haliburton is going to be in a very good spot today. So let's pull a projection up, and kind of like the first Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Haliburton is projecting well here on Fantasy Labs, but his projections are a little bit lower on some of these other models that I reference typically. But at 18.4 rebounds and assists, I think we're getting a little bit of value here at 17.5. Like I said, don't be surprised if it ends up getting bumped up to 18 or even 18.5 rebounds and assists. So for me, both of these guys would be more options. I don't think I'm ever thinking about taking Tyrese Haliburton under for anything. So those are 2 picks that you should definitely have on your radar today. Again, Maxey, if you're afraid of the blowout, go first half only, but I think he's in a great bounce back spot taking on Detroit today. Switching things up here, I want to just bring some attention to the 12 days of Picksmas. Rudy Gobert did record 1 block last night, so that unlocked a promo for us today. New promos dropping every day. The second day of Picksmas is called Mrs. Claus. It's Flex Friday. By the way, I'll be doing a live stream for today's Flex Friday. Please join me if you have a little bit of time. I plan on doing that around 12 p.m. Eastern time. So clear your calendars, make time for your boy if you're interested. But yes, Flex Friday, Picksmas style. If you don't win your entry, it activates the Mrs. Claus. You can get your net losses back up to $30. Please note that Demons and Goblins cannot be used in your protected play entry. What is the reward? It's a $30 protected play, flex play, which pays back your net losses in the form of promo funds. Here are some common scenarios. You win your entry and get paid out in credit as soon as the entry settles. If you don't win your entry, you get paid out in promo funds up to $30 as soon as the entry settles. You partially win your entry, in which case you get some of both. For example, if you place a $30 6-pick flex and you get 4 out of 6 right, you earn $12 in credit. You had a net loss of $18, which then would go back into your PrizePicks account as promo funds. All right, does that make sense? The reward will be available in the promos tab by 12 p.m. Eastern time today, December the 15th. All right, so keep an eye on the promo tab. It expires, so you have to make sure that you opt in, build a qualifying flex play, tap the checkbox in the entry builder, and submit the entry before midnight on December the 15th. All right, and then they got all the fine print and stuff, so you could go find that out on PrizePicks. But yeah, Rudy Gobert got that block. It unlocked a promo for us, and so we continue down the road for the 12 days of Picksmas. Guys, I appreciate all your support. I know there's highs and lows here, but guess what? Hard work pays off, dreams come true. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Good luck on all your entries tonight. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.